Very embarrassing showing for the West Virginia Mountaineers today in their game versus Ohio in Athens. A lot to discuss, a lot to get into. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and kind of toy around with it. We're doing the giveaway at 500 subscribers. It's not why you click the video, so let's get right into it. Before we kind of obviously dive into the negative side of things, there were a couple positives, I believe, Noah. I have one take, but I want you to just go ahead and start us out with your thoughts on Zach Alley today. And really, the defense in general, the only kind of glimpse of hope that we had in today. You and I watching the game, we were just hoping that one of the 3 interceptions that Navarro had, our defense, the only complaint today was that they couldn't house one on the defensive side of the ball for a pick 6, because it seemed like that was the only way that we were going to score today was through the defense. So give me your thoughts on Zach Alley today. Thought he did a tremendous job.
Yeah, Gage, I think that's as simple as that. He did a great job. Navarro had, I think like 87 yards on the ground. Had success on it, but we also made him turn the ball over 3 times, Gage. Defense was on the field a lot. How many times did we get 3 and out? Right back on the field, our defense has to go. They stood up to the test. But, you can't applaud Zach Alley anymore. And here's my biggest takeaway from this game. No matter how much this offense struggles, and I think we're going to see a little bit more struggle. We'll get into that. But no matter how much Zach Alley's a good enough coach and can scheme up enough, we're going to be in a lot of football games where we probably might not look like we should whenever you put up the rosters against each other, because his defensive game plan, what he's able to do schematically to force turnovers, limit what guys are good at on the other side of the football. I think that's where he really, really shines. Like you said, the only complaint is that we couldn't house one of those pick 6s, and that's almost too much to ask from a defense when you're asking them to score points because you need them that badly, right? Ohio did everything they could to give West Virginia the game, and West Virginia still couldn't take it, and that was a one hell of a showing on the defensive side of the football, but offensively, there are a lot of questions, Gage.
Couple of stats for you, obviously. Time of possession, Ohio 40 minutes and 15 compared to West Virginia's 19:45. Fourth down efficiency, Ohio 1 for 3 today. Third down efficiency, 5 for 14. We'll obviously get into the offensive side of the stats for West Virginia, but you read somebody those numbers and tell them that they put up 17 points as a team, you would like your odds. Couple guys defensively that stood out to me. Fred Perry, I thought, had a hell of a game. He was in the backfield making plays. He was making plays on the perimeter. He was just kind of flying all over the field. We know what he brings to the table. A couple other of those guys in the safety position. Lewis came up with a big interception, I believe, last name Lewis, the transfer from Akron. Obviously, a couple interceptions, guys. Defense played well, man. But my one positive thing and one kind of note that I want to hit on, because it kind of leads us into the negative. I just wanted to shout out Cam Vaughn. I think obviously today we kind of just saw like a lack of talent, but the thing with Cam Vaughn is Mountaineer Nation needs to enjoy him while he's here now, because he will not be here next year. I'm going to go ahead and put that out here, September 6, 2025. That is a guy that's going to get poached by an SEC school or Big Ten or something like that. He's that talented. He's that good. He caught the ball down the sideline there. That was an unbelievable catch. He's just a playmaker. I thought, we didn't get him the ball nearly enough today. Even when Jahiem went down, I thought that was kind of a mystery. Vaughn only ended with 2 catches today for 43 yards. Of course, would have been 3 for a lot more yardage if he had, the ruling would have been a catch down the sideline there. But, yeah, that's kind of my one thing, and it's obviously leads into the negatives, because I'm saying he'll probably be gone just because of how good he is. That's not even a complaint. I'm just sitting here being realistic with you. It's fun to watch him play and just don't get comfortable, I don't think. But, man, oh man, let's just knock out injuries, right? Life as a Mountaineer fan is brutal, but none of this is more brutal than, for Jahiem. This is just, it's hard to even speak about it, man. I don't know. It just sucks. There's no other way around it. I thought it was a pretty shitty tackle. I thought it was a dirty-ass tackle when I went back and watched it. The fact that there was a face mask and a horse collar on the same effing tackle speaks a lot of things. I'm not saying it was intentional. I'm not saying that it was meant to happen that way. Just when you get a face mask and a horse collar and the same damn flag and nobody's effing ejected, I'm trying my best not to drop the F-bomb here, no, but that one, kind of pissed me off a little bit. But I mean, we're going to suffer from that. I mean, Jahiem obviously went down. Jaden Bray went down. I haven't saw anything with that. We saw Chase Wilson banged up at the end of the game. Just kind of overall thoughts, obviously, on Jahiem.
Yeah, Gage, what it does to our offense tremendously, especially running behind like a questionable offensive line. Jahiem plays that Jahiem made, maybe a 7 or 8 yard run to a normal typical back. It's probably a 3 or 4 yard gain. So you kind of have like a 3 yards per play difference in just him leaving offensively. When you have to kind of shake your offensive line, I'm not going to sit here and say trash the offensive line. They didn't get a very good push up front today. But when you have an electric back like Jahiem, he's able to make you kind of game plan around him, right?
And we saw it.
Now,
We saw it on the touchdown drive. I mean,
yeah, so I mean, whenever they have to stack the box because they know you're that much of a threat on the ground, yeah, it makes things easier offensively for you. I felt like Ohio did a good job of fitting the run when Jahiem was there, right? But we saw they missed one time, and Jahiem takes it to the house for a 30-yard touchdown run. So it's just really, really frustrating, and especially when you look at the guy, Jaheim's been nothing but a great Mountaineer, represented Morgantown with everything he has, stayed around. He had a chance to probably go to Texas with his former coach whenever he left. He stays. It's just really unfortunate. I hate to see it for him. But, I mean, in the bigger picture, Gage, it's really detrimental to the season, especially with, even more question at the quarterback position after today.
yeah, absolutely. And we'll go into this. We'll start from kind of the top to bottom. Let's dive in first the offensive side of things with Rich Rod and kind of the offensive play calling in general. Timid, is that the word to describe from what we saw today? It just looked very bland. I understand, you kind of mentioned offensive line, quarterback play was shaky a little bit, but I mean, I know Robert Morris last week has really nothing to do with this game, considering the fumbles and then just it's a lack of talent that you're facing. But my goodness, man, I mean, we had Ohio's defense looking like we were playing an SEC team, right? That's what it looked like. It looked like we were playing Oklahoma today. It looked like we were playing Texas today. You know, is some of it due to the actual poor play on the field? Yes. I truly believe that. Rich Rod isn't the actual one going out there making the reads, throwing the ball, running the ball, things like that. But damn, man. I mean, today, I don't know if he got out coached by Ohio in terms of the defensive coordinator and the game plan that they had set in stone for us. But they were daring Nico to kind of throw the ball around and beat them today. And I don't think Rich Rod may have saw it. I don't know. I mean, I was kind of flabbergasted by just the overall. As the game went on, nothing changed. I mean, yeah, we got down and we knew we had to throw the ball time and time again. But even still, there were plays when we were down by 2 possessions. We were running the ball in, 2nd and 8, 2nd and long, something like that. Just a bunch of questionable stuff today. And I'm not kind of jumping the gun. I'm not flipping out and going crazy. It comes down to this fact, Noah, that I understand this is your first year. There's a lot of new players. These are games you don't lose. These are games you can't lose. Okay, I don't care how much roster turnover you have, and don't get it twisted. People can go ahead now and kind of use a excuse of like, well, Ohio's, they're not that bad, right? Like they're pretty good. We have a lot of it. No, nobody. I'm not buying that shit at all. We were the better team from a talent standpoint today, but Ohio just played better. They played better, they played harder, and offensively, lackadaisical offensive line. I mean, everything. What do you think about Rich Rod, kind of the offense that you saw today in terms of play calling?
Yeah, Gage, I think kind of what you said at the beginning, kind of timid. I think he was afraid to make a mistake because he knew if Ohio got the lead, it would be kind of possible for them to sustain that lead, Gage. So when you look into what he was kind of trying to shy away from was the big explosive play where you put balls in, put the ball in harm's way. I think he kind of called maybe like a little a don't make a mistake game, right? And like I said, this is nothing against Rich Rod. It's his second game back. You don't lose these games. You're 100% right. This isn't us selling ship on Rich Rod, right? Rich Rod's did it for a long time. Mm-hmm. He's going to get this play straightened out. I fully 100% believe that he will get this straightened out. But it's a game you don't lose, and it's a game where I think he really does. Like when he came out and said all 5 quarterbacks could play, today made me believe that it was, because as much as when Rich Rod did give the opportunity for them to throw the football, guys were taking sacks. They weren't getting rid of the football. They weren't making accurate passes, or a receiver wouldn't catch the pass, which has nothing to do with the quarterback. But there were plays that were there that we saw and we're like, we needed that. You take a rough stab when Cam Vaughn doesn't get that catch, which me and you watched it. I think it was clearly a catch, right? I don't think there was any question that that was a catch. We don't get it. Just a lot of things stack up against them. And like I said, you lose Jahiem. I mean, it loses, like, they can pretty much literally stack the box and say, okay, here you go.
Yeah,
Nico's going to beat us with his arm, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, and really, I mean, they didn't have to stack the box with Clay Ash, and I mean, we didn't even see Bowers. Ty Edwards obviously is not up to game speed or anything like that, or else I would imagine, they're going to probably kick it in gear with him right now with how serious Jaheim's injury is, because we're going to have to find an answer pretty quick at that running back position. Let's talk quarterbacks, right? And this is kind of my only little rant. We really haven't openly discussed the quarterback room, so now and after this game is a good time to say it. This is kind of my only takeaway from it. And last week I talked about how Nico kind of blew me away with what he looked like. Yes, it's Robert Morris, things like that, we know, but the traits and kind of what he showcased, I was like, okay, I feel comfortable, like that's a quarterback. But I, once again, am going to sit here and defend Jalen Henderson, because I know a lot of fans, he came in today, missed the throw to Cam Vaughn up the sideline, kind of an awkward throw up the seam on the sideline. Before fans start losing their mind about, well, Henderson's bad, Henderson's not this, yada, yada, he hasn't had a fair chance. I'm sorry. He's getting treated like a pinch hitter in baseball, right? Hey, we're up 45 against Robert Morris. Henderson, go in there. Let's see what we got, right? Let's see what you got. But, he's been sitting on the damn bench for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Cold, everything. It's the same situation today. Hey, the offense is lackadaisical. I'm calling my worst game in the last probably 10 years of coaching. Just get in there, Jalen. Let's see what you got today. Let's just get a spark out of you, right? Are you shitting me, man? Come on, bro. It's like, that's what I'm saying, the pinch hitter effect. It's like, hey, I don't know, Johnny down there at the bench chewing bubblegum and spitting sunflower seeds. Get up here, face this reliever in the MLB who's throwing 97, 98 with a wipeout slider. You have no chance, bro. You have no chance. And I'm sick and tired of him not having this chance. Next week, if Rich Rod were to come out and say, hey, okay, Jalen Henderson's starting this game, we'll see where it takes us, I would be pleased, because at least we would get a sample size of him as a starter, not just coming in the game whenever. And obviously, when it got to the point of like, okay, we're going to have to throw the ball to get back into this game, no shit, you got to go back to Nico, because Henderson hasn't thrown a pass in 2 hours. I mean, except warm-up throws on the sideline. That's kind of my only take with quarterbacks. It's like, I don't care, bro. Play whoever you want to play, but damn, being the starting quarterback matters, because you get into that rhythm, you get into the game flow. Just coming in ice cold, you stand little to no chance, in my opinion.
Yeah, Gage, I think you hit on that very well. And the thing is there, as much as we want to sit here and talk bad on Nico, and I don't really think, yes, should he have hit more passes? Yes. Should he have got out of the pocket, thrown the ball, keep us within, distance of a first down at times? Yes, I think he should have did those things. He could have made things better. But when you have an offensive line in front of you that kind of has shaky plays at times, right? Would we be better with a little bit more mobility back there? And whether that's Jalen Henderson, Scotty Fox, Khalil Wilkins, I don't know, Gage. And Max Brown, I don't know. I can't say one way or the other. I haven't seen all the guys. Jalen Henderson obviously had a couple plays, to get in today. Looked a little bit more athletic, as we've said, Gage. Looked more athletic than Nico at times.
But when we say that, it's just the offense. I mean, we know what this offense needs to be successful. We saw it with Pat White. We saw it with multiple quarterbacks where he's made stops in his coaching career. It's just, when I say and that's what I don't know, man. It's such a toss-up. I'm glad I don't have to be the one to sit down and make a decision about it, because I like both. I'm not sitting here, like you said, I didn't think Nico played absolutely terrible, but if you're going to be a power 4 quarterback in the Big 12 especially, you go to games like these, you just dominate. It's without a doubt. And that's where it's to me now, it's I don't know. The way he played, I mean, no disrespect, bro, but the way he looked today, he should have been playing in the Mountain West versus Malachi Nelson. I mean, that's just what I saw today.
Yeah, Gage. And here's the thing, though, too, and it's something for viewers to kind of question. And like I said, I don't know as much about football as Rich Rodriguez does. I'm not going to sit here and claim that I do. But when you look at it, if you're going to struggle offensively, why? What are you have some stuff you like in Scotty Fox? Would you rather grow a little bit and next year he's seasoned? He's better? No, I don't know. I'm not saying Henderson, Nico, I don't know, but it's just something to kind of like, okay, there's some question there. If you want to, if you know you're going to be kind of down at the quarterback position and you're not sure where you're going, get some guys some reps. Get a guy some reps.
I mean, yeah, I know people are obviously going to be talking about Scotty Fox this entire next week. I mean, my kind of take on it is like, I just don't think that today was the day. Like, yes, it was kind of shitty quarterback play from both Nico and the little that we got to see of Henderson. But at the end of the day, it's a one possession game, and it comes back to the fact of like, he's ice cold. Like bringing him in there doesn't really do anything compared to Robert Morris, where it's like it's a showcase game, right? That's basically what it is versus Robert Morris, FCS. It's a showcase. Go in, see what you can do. Get comfortable in the stadium, things like that. Today, away environment, one possession game. Like really, you're one or two chunk plays away from giving yourself a legit chance to tie the game. So that's kind of my take with Scotty. It's like I just don't think today was the day. Next week, jumping ahead, I don't think Pitt is the game to do that. You got to see what you got with Nico and Henderson. These are the two guys we've been saying it. One of them has to pull away. Today, it seems like both of them went backwards. I don't know who went backwards further.
Funny you said that, Gage. How many times did we hear in Rich Rod pressers him saying that exact same thing you did? And like, I kind of felt the quarterback's regress today rather than progress. So, I mean, just kind of funny that you said that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, a mess today. And anytime an offense plays bad, it obviously directly correlates to quarterback play more times than not. Let's talk offensive line now because, I mean, MP in our preview this week, he kind of talked about his concerns with the push up front, even versus Robert Morris. I think today it was glaring, but I kind of think that half of this is due to Ohio's game plan of stacking the box a little bit, saying, "Hey, you're going to have to throw to beat us." It's hard to 5 offensive linemen to block 5, 6, 7 guys in the box. Like that's tough to do. So I'll lay off a little bit, but I think offensive line specifically in the NIL era, I can't remember who I was listening to saying this, but offensive line is one kind of specific position group. You just need to pay for the best player. This isn't, offensive line isn't, it is a schematic group. Like you need to be able to do certain things. But I think that we spent our money on the offensive line on guys who are scheme fits rather than guys who are just talented at playing offensive line. And these guys are obviously good enough to play Power 4 football. Once again, we're not sitting here just like disrespecting, but it's obviously glaring when you go back and watch. Like, there's some times, man, where it's just like blown up by a mid-major team, a team in the MAC. No disrespect, once again. I'm just saying, when you are on a Power 4 budget, a Big 12 budget, and there are concerns in the trenches versus a mid-major, that's some serious problems. That's stuff that if that carries to Big 12, you stand zero chance. Zero chance.
Yeah, Gage. I think it's just like you said. Do we have the Power 4 offensive line yet? And it was kind of everybody kind of questioned it during the offseason, what we added. I don't know. I think that question's yet to be answered. Like you said, there are a lot of questions there in the sense that we didn't exactly create huge holes for our running backs to run through, or give clean pockets to our quarterbacks to throw out of against a mid-major school. Like you said, hard to know run scheme, right? Because I think they were stacking the box a little bit, and then additionally, the whole game plan changes when Jahiem's out of the game, and you have Clay Ash. And like I said, don't really know why we only saw Sincere once today. Could be trying to get him up to speed with the playbook. I know he missed some time in camp. I'm not sure. But there's a lot of questions there, and I think you're exactly right. We can't have this going into next week and or further into the Big 12.
I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at my notes. I mean, a couple other quick hitters that I had. It was just kind of back to the play calling at the beginning of this. I should have mentioned a couple like third and shorts we had in the first half, and the play calling was like outside zone or halfback sweep or something like that, and negative. It's just I don't know. I just thought it was messy all over the place a little bit today. There's just you can sit here and nitpick all you want, but everybody knows the end result. Um, the bottom line fact is, like you said at the beginning of this, Ohio gave you not one, but two, or I'm sorry, not one, not two, but three chances to completely swing momentum in this game to give yourself a chance to win with those interceptions. All you had to do was get the interception, which we did, so check mark that. Then you had to complete a drive down a football field and get 10 yards to move the chains. I know that this is crazy. I mean, we have to say this because we didn't see it today. You have to get 10 yards to move the chains, right? And sustain a drive to score some points. And that builds, what is that called now? It builds momentum, right? It swings the game. You get a stop because our defensive coordinator is working his ass off to get the ball back to the offense, which we've talked all this time. That's where we feel comfortable with the ball, right? We feel comfortable with the ball on the offensive side. Not today, man. I don't know. A lot of question marks. Like I said, not jumping ship, obviously, on Rich Rod or things like that. We know that out of everybody in this universe, he is the most pissed off about this loss. Okay, we know that. Like you and I, like we're upset. Fan base is upset. Everybody's upset. Nobody's more pissed off than him. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there any other kind of miscellaneous things that you want to hit on?
I think kind of what you said. Even the lack of scoring product, even the lack of touchdowns would have been okay because you got three extra possess. If you could have kicked field goals, Gage, on those three turnovers, you win the football game, Gage. So it's just like you have to be able to move the football. And like I said, I understand that Jahiem was out, and I get that, and he was the show horse. He was the all in all offense that we had, and I really fully believe that now after watching a game without him. But my oh my, if you just get field goals, if you're able to get into the red zone or even just scoring territory, we have a chance to win the game, Gage. It's sickening, like you said. I think you hit it right, though. We're not jumping ship on Rich Rod. If there's one guy I trust that embodies West Virginia, that guy believes right now that he let down all of West Virginia. And I fully believe that. He knows that everybody's hanging their head. They're thinking this season's over. But I really believe that he's going to get this on the right track. There were questions about this roster coming into the season. You played a team that was very veteran led, in my opinion. Was a scary game to know. Thank you, Shane Lyons. We love playing a powerhouse MAC team away. We love that. Thank you, Shane Lyons. We'll give you a shout out here. Anyways, whenever you just look at it, we should have won this football game. We were the better team. We didn't take care of business. I just want to make everybody know we are not jumping ship on Rich Rod. We believe he is the best guy for the job, but he needed to have a better performance today.
Yeah, for sure. And shout out Ohio, right? This we've kind of been dogging on West Virginia, but man, they came out, they executed their game plan flawlessly. I thought first half, obviously they had the momentum. Things were most certainly going their way. Parker Navarro is a ball player, bro. I mean, we knew about that. We knew that last year. Glad kind of, Mountaineer fans got to kind of showcase that today. Or not showcase, but see how that was kind of showcased today. Chase Hendricks did his thing again. The receiver that we talked about, key player, 8 receptions, 121 yards, and a touchdown. The rushing attack for them was obviously better in the first half than the second half. But yeah, man. I mean, last thing I'll say, and we'll kind of talk about before we wrap it up, injury wise, I mean, if Jahiem is gone long term, which it is looking like, I mean, we're recording this the night of the 6th. We haven't heard anything confirmed yet. I don't know how much more we'll see of Clay Ash. I mean, it's obviously going to depend what he does with this opportunity. If Jaheim's gone long term, I would say to get pretty familiar with Sincere Bowers, just because he has that kind of next level speed and is able to kind of break off some long elusive runs. I'm not saying Ty Edwards is a savior by any means, but man, I mean, we're going to have some juice here, the running back room from somebody. And then if Jaden Bray, I just saw he was dinged up, kind of got carted off. It's a big loss, man. That's a stable wide receiver too. He had a good game today. Had a good vertical catch. It's once again this receiver room that we're being preached to with so much depth. It's going to have to be somebody to step up of Man Singleton, Rodney Gallagher, Preston Fox, maybe just some definitely some concerning questions. And the worst part about it all is next week is your biggest game of the season. I mean, there's some big games in Big 12, but next week means a ton to the fan base. We've talked about that. So must win game. Obviously, every week's must win, but this one especially.
Yeah, Gage. I don't really have too many more words, man. Simple as this, you hit it. Injury did not walk out of that one injury free, which sucks. Especially we aren't even into conference play. You play your rival next week, which is the one that everybody has check marked on the schedule. Have the ability to really have like a momentum swing win if you could get it next week. So we won't get into that, but yeah, like you said, it just hate to see the guys that were injured. Hopefully Bray, nothing too serious. Jahiem, I'm not feeling too good about. Just be kind of like a whole different. I'm not going to say philosophy swing on offense, but kind of like, okay, now we gotta do things a little bit different because we don't have that workhorse back.
To end on a positive note, I do believe full-heartedly next week Rich Rod will have these guys prepared and ready to go. He understands the significance of this game, all the numeral kind of stuff, 9-13, everything like that. He's going to have these guys ready to play. Who knows, man? Maybe we could see some sort of storyline with obviously the Jahiem injury and kind of lack of quarterback play. It'd obviously be good to see a bounce back win, but that's a very bold task considering how Pitt looked today. And we'll obviously talk about that in the game preview that will be coming out Wednesday on the channel. So it's an uphill battle from here, man. So it's kind of time to dig in and see who you really are and what your culture really is, because it doesn't get any easier from here. This was one of your kind of staple wins in the schedule. You look over and kind of just check mark it with ease. So guys, we appreciate you watching. It's kind of a change of tone for Noah. Now we're always so upbeat, but a little pissed off today. So we appreciate you guys watching, man. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for the giveaway, 500 subscribers, stuff in the back there, except the big cap. Don't know if we'll be breaking that out any this year. We'll see. But hey, appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one.